Weaponaire here, and this right here is basically a video response to a viewer question. And actually, he had 3 questions. The question was basically all on the PSL. Now, the PSL is a copy of the SVD, Russian SVD. From a technical standpoint, as far as accuracy goes, they are identical. The SVD holds no great accuracy potential over this, and this has no accuracy potential over the SVD. They are both designed to fill the same role, and that's being a designated marksman rifle. It's not a sniper rifle, it's a marksmanship rifle, marksman rifle. And basically its purpose in life is aimed shots, good aimed shots, which is something that's not really the best thing for an AK. The AKs are typically not all that great for accuracy. But you know, if you get your sights adjusted well and you're a good shooter, it has good combat accuracy, which is different than small groups. Now, this rifle right here suffers from a couple of things. It basically has a weak receiver, and the SVD still would be considered a weaker receiver even with that design. And that's just because, you know, you compare an SVD receiver to like a M14 or something like that, and quite a bit different. But the biggest problem with the SVD or the PSL is the weight of the barrel. The weight of the barrel is the same thing as the AK weight. So this right here, basically the same barrel diameter as an AK. Even the VG58, which is like a modernized version of the AK before the AKM, and you know, so all of them have the same diameter barrel, and it's too light of a barrel for typically any use. The U.S. the U.S. had a really light barrel on the M16, and then it got heavier and heavier and heavier, and now it's quite heavy. The M4 barrel is quite a good sized barrel. You take it compared to this one, and well, this isn't all that big. You take a look at this barrel right here. That right there is an AR barrel or an M16 barrel, and you can compare that to, well, there's the difference. And considering that that one right there is 7.62 by 54R, and nothing like the 5.56 or anything like that. So this is going to recoil more. It's going to cause more harmonic issues. When the round fires out of this, the barrel actually flexes and it actually distorts, and it actually has a wave pattern to it. What you try to do is you try to adjust your sights to that, and if everything runs perfectly, you'll hit in the same general area all the time. With a sniper rifle, you have basically a heavy barrel, and it's perfectly crowned. These are not very well crowned at all. So you basically, and they're typically bedded and everything else. So a sniper rifle is basically going to be quarter a minute or a half minute of angle groups, and this is like 2 to 4 minute of angle groups. So this is not a whole lot better than an AK, but it has far greater range, and that's basically what the whole purpose is. Take out the opponent further out so they can't come in and get you. And it does that just fine. This is a good designated marksmanship rifle, and for that purpose it works fine. This scope right here is the 1P21. It's a zoom scope, and it operates on this wheel right here. This is not the typical PSL. This right here is more SVD style, and this right here, it's bullet drop compensating, but it's different than your typical PSL scope or sniper scope. Now the difference on this one right here is it actually has a pivot point right up front right here. It has a piece of spring steel, and when you adjust the scope, well, when you do that, the back end actually rises and falls. Just a little bit, but it does. And it does that to adjust for whatever range you want to shoot it at. This right here is like 1,500 yard scope or something like that. I can't remember right off the hand, but it's not effective up to that range, so I typically call it a 1,000 yard scope or meter. Now, this one right here, when you look through the scope, it doesn't have the same reticle as you normally have. It's really easy to use. You see the target, you go ahead and you make the target fit within the lines by just turning that. And once you do that, it is ranged for that distance. Put the little chevron on the target, squeeze the trigger, and hopefully the target's taken down. Then you can look at the top of the scope and it'll tell you how many meters or what the distance is for that shot. Now, the question was, can you take the original scope and reactivate it? Well, the original scope was a Romanian PSO-1. They designated, Romanian PSO-1, but it was designated a LPS 4x6 TIP2. I just call it a tip 2. Made by Industry Optic Romania, which is IOR. Now, the original scope used tritium inserts, and tritium inserts get a half-life, and every 10 years or so it takes half the energy from that. And being tritium, which is hydrogen 3, radioactive isotope of hydrogen, 1 proton, 2 neutrons, and you can actually detect with a, but I should point out, you can detect it, but it's like one click, and then it's like another click, and it's difficult to, unless the size of the tritium insert is quite large. It hardly clicks at all with my small handgun sights, but a large scope like that probably would click a lot more than I'm expecting it to. So basically the question was, can it be reactivated? Well, you can disassemble that scope, and it's not that hard. It takes a couple small screwdrivers, and pretty much all it takes. You will find that normally the inserts are really tiny. They're tiny little vials, and not in the case of that scope. That little tip 2 scope has very large half-moon tritium inserts, and they're big. They're really big. So could you replace it if you had a source for new tritium? Yes, you could. It wouldn't be very hard. Could you find new tritium for it right now? You could. 81 millimeter, I know that one has a half-moon tritium insert, 81 millimeter sight, and that one has the half-moon tritium insert on it. But is it the same size? I don't think so. But that doesn't, the whole point is, could you find one? You probably could, or you could have one made, but you're better off just buying better scopes. You really are. This right here is a far better scope than that, and although that's a really inexpensive one, it's perfect during the day. So yeah, could you do it if you had the tritium? Yes, you could. Finding the tritium, like I said, not so easy. Second question was, if the round is considered a sniper round, like the Mosin Nagant, why doesn't this PSL be considered a sniper rifle too? Well, the Mosin Nagant, which is 9130, that's this rifle right here. And this rifle right here is not a sniper rifle, just a battle rifle. And it does, and basically any rifle can be a sniper rifle. It's just not going to be designated a sniper rifle. And the designation for a sniper rifle is more accuracy than anything else. And more sniper rifles are actually designed specifically with that in mind. So they got a heavy barrel, and it's usually bedded. It's got a nice trigger on it. So, you know, good optics or anything like that. But I believe Simo Heha, I believe he was the sniper from World War II that used the 9130 Mosin Nagant with iron sights. And I think he probably had 1,000 or more kills to his record. And he did it with just this rifle. Do I think he had any other work done on it? Probably. He was an expert shot by far. And if you were a good shot, and you can perform the role of a sniper. A really good marksman can take a poor rifle and make it shoot better, because there's a lot of tips and tricks and trigger pulls and sight pictures and everything else. And if you're really good with a rifle, you can make it easier to shoot to the potential. An average shooter typically won't reach that potential, so it shoots better. The only way to put it. Now, the typical sniper rifle of World War II for the Russians was 9130 Mosin Nagant sniper rifle. And they designated this a sniper rifle with the addition of a scope. That's pretty much all they did. It's not even, you take a look at the crowning on the Russian rifles, and this one right here is not really too bad. It does have it's not a target crown, but it does have a decent crown for World War II, or before, which is quite impressive. This one's like, I think, 1942. And so, can it be used as a sniper rifle? Yes, it can. You put the right person behind it, and it's going to perform exceptionally well. Is it better than the Mauser the sniper rifle version of the Mauser? No, it's not. The Mauser is a lot better, and that has to do with quality control and everything else, and better optics. The optics on here are pretty crappy. It worked fine. They used it all the way. They were using it in Vietnam. They're probably still using it today. The only problem is, for a westernized individual, they're used to a scope with crosshairs. This has a post, and typically you adjust your crosshairs, and then wherever you put your crosshair on is what you're going to hit. In this case, it doesn't have the crosshairs, it has the post, and whatever you put the post on is what you're going to hit, but the post is not in the center of the scope. So if you adjust the scope up or down, that post is going to be up or down within the scope, or right or left within the scope. So it's very seldom is it centered in the middle. It's typically off to one side and high or low, and so it's not an easy scope to use, which is why the Mauser was a lot better optic. So this is not really, while it performed the duties during World War II, it was considered a sniper rifle. It performed that role. So why doesn't the PSL also perform the role of the sniper rifle? Or why isn't it considered a sniper rifle? Because it's not designed that way. This was never designed to be a sniper rifle. A lot of people think, well, geez, it looks really impressive and it looks like a sniper rifle. It may look like one, but this is a designated marksman rifle. And this is supposed to be used for one or two people within a squad would be using something like this, whether, Russia, they use the SVD. Same accuracy with the SVD as it is with the PSL. You can't outshoot, the SVD cannot outshoot the PSL with the same ammunition. They're just not designed for it. They're designed to fulfill the aimed shot requirement for a distant target. So basically, this is a designated marksman rifle. Barrel's too light, has a lot of barrel whip to it. Trigger's not very good, and it's not a free-floating barrel, and typically sniper rifle, you want a free-floating barrel. This is a fine rifle for quick aimed shots with the scope, which is up to probably, this does actually go up to like 1,400 yards or 1,400 meters, but basically 1,000 yards and you're pushing this thing. The caliber, 7.62 by 54R, the 7.62 by 54R does have a couple of sniper rounds in there. I have a case of it, and it's okay. I mean, sometimes some people find that silver tip works just as good. I have not tried the brand new ammo, so the brand new ammo is slightly different than the older one. You look at the ammo, it looks the same, but it's more consistent, and it has a different design on the inside. It's got a slight penetrator and things like that. So it's the ammunition that's really going to make the difference in this rifle. Can this rifle outshoot the Mosin Nagant? Typically not. The Mosin Nagant has more of a free-floating barrel, or can have, and this does not. There's a lot of things going wrong with this. You know, you got a lot of barrel whip, and the harmonics are not very good, which equates to, yeah, well, this right here, 2 to 4 minute of angle, and a typical sniper rifle would be, you know, half minute of angle or less. So this is way off from a sniper grade rifle, but still, any rifle can be used as a sniper rifle, whether it has scope on it or iron sights. It does not have to have scope on it to be a sniper rifle. It just has to have a sniper behind it. So what really designates a sniper rifle is really, it's going to come down to the user. Is the PSL less accurate than the Mosin Nagant? Yes. The Mosin Nagant is a little bit, it has to do with the receiver. The receiver is more strong than the receiver on the PSL, which is basically a little bit heavier AK style receiver. Got some stiffening rails and stuff like that. But the trigger pulls, not the greatest. You know, you can replace the trigger pull, but we're talking stock weapons. And so the only thing with the PSL had the better scope. The LPS 4x6 was a better scope than the one that's on the sniper rifle. That's the only difference between the two. They're just optics, as far as, you know, that goes. So, you know, if you're talking optics, if you put a better optic on the Mosin Nagant, that's going to shoot better. So, basically, can the scope be reactivated? Yes, it can. Too expensive, not worth it. You know, why doesn't this fit in the sniper rifle category? It was never designed to be a sniper rifle. Russians can make a very fine sniper rifle. They can make very fine weapons. This was not designed to be a sniper rifle. That's why it's not a sniper rifle. This was designed for mass production of a good aimed shot rifle, marksman rifle. And because of that, you know, they wanted mass production. This is mass produced. There's nothing custom in it. And the same goes for the SPD. It's got better quality, but still, it's got the same accuracy. And last, is the PSL less accurate than the Mosin Nagant? I give the edge to the Mosin Nagant. It has a little less barrel whip, and it's got a stronger receiver, and typically a little bit better trigger. So, but I think the Mosin Nagant gets me on probably. You can get less than 2-inch groups with it, put it that way. But typically it's like 2 to 3-inch groups when compared to your average PSL. PSL can run a lot. It can run 6 minute of angle. So depending on which one you grab, you can get them down to a minute of angle. But still, average sniper rifle like this one right here. This one right here with factory ammo, not sniper ammo. Factory ammo, it's 1/4 minute of angle, and it'll do that all day in the wind. So that's something this right here could never achieve. Hopefully I answered your question. I know the video is too darn long, but it's topics that cannot be talked about in just a couple of seconds. So I'm Weapon here. If you've got any comments or questions, leave it below. Keep the comments such as, well, this shoots better than that, and I don't care. I really don't care. Got any comments or questions based on what we've already talked about? Feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to rate the video. I'm Weapon here, and I'll catch you in the next one. What you want?